Before I start this video, I just want to let you know, guys, that I have broken every rule that I'm about to discuss here. Why? Because it's very hard. These are not necessarily rules, but I think they are the way to live a quality life. And before I even enunciate even further, I just want to let you know, guys, that I have prepared my notes, and I would be referring to them so that I'm able to better present my thoughts and articulate them well, and if I'm able to articulate them well. So before I begin with how social media is rewiring our brains, let's begin with a question. What is a quality life to you? Please write that down, or please make a note what goes through your mind when I ask this specific question. For me, a quality life is living up to my potential, being a great performer in my business, having great friends, perhaps not many, but a few, where I can be vulnerable to them, at the same time put my best self to them. Living a quality life for me also includes that I'm treating my parents rightly, and I'm deeply grateful for them. If I have a woman by my side, I will make sure that I'm treating her rightly, kindly, lovingly, respectfully. I'm going to make sure that I'm loyal to her and I'm communicating things to her effectively. Living a quality life also means keeping myself fit and eating well. And it also means not really impressing somebody else or being condescending to them, but also being assertive with people in any toxic environment. Also, a quality life is also where you are doing the things that make you happy, and where you are also developing different sources of income to be financially healthy. In a nutshell, this is what living up to my potential means. The reality is whatever I have said here, I'm only able to do like 40% of things. And why is that? I think when it comes to living up to your potential, the quality of digital life matters the most. The reason I say quality is that nowadays it's very hard to ignore your presence digitally if you're doing business online. And in this video, I'm going to lay out 4 points on how social media is rewiring our brains and what you can do about it to achieve your goals. I'm going to touch on first the impact on attention and memory. The second point would be the psychology of instant gratification. Third would be dopamine loops and addiction patterns. Fourth would be strategies for digital detox and mindful usage. The first point, impact on attention span and memory. Imagine you're directing your awareness to an energy ball. If you wholeheartedly direct your awareness to that ball, this is where your energy will flow. But let's imagine that instead of one energy ball, there are 8 of them, and instead of going from one energy ball to another, you're trying to pay attention to all the 8 energy balls. So what is happening here? If your awareness is energy, it's getting scattered in different directions. That flow of energy, which is your awareness, is getting fragmented into different things. In short, it means instead of paying attention to one thing, you're paying attention to many things. You're channeling your energy into the things that should matter the most, but there are so many things that you're paying attention to. And now imagine your attention like a river stream. Imagine if a river stream was suddenly going in 8 different directions at the same time. What will happen here? The flow of energy of the river will slow down, including its speed and momentum, and the same will happen with its goal of reaching its destination. The same happens with your awareness when you are watching shorts, reels, or jumping from one video to another. And the same happens during work when you are chatting or trying to monitor your notifications. Instead of really paying attention to your work, you are not channeling your energy, which is your awareness, to one direction but multiple directions all the time. It's also called friction. And that sad thing about is that it happens the moment you wake up and look at your phone. And when that happens, the flow of the river, which is your awareness, is not going to one direction but infinite directions. It's a complete destruction of your awareness. When that happens, you are not able to train your mind to achieve long-term goals, because you're not able to sit in one place for a long time while doing your work, and it ends up impacting your memory. So with this, let's talk about the second point. That's the psychology of instant gratification. For us to understand what instant gratification means, we also have to understand this chemical in our brain, which is dopamine. Dopamine is a brain chemical that regulates motivation, reward, pleasure, and focus. It's often called the feel good neurotransmitter. If you are eating junk food and feel instant joy and fun, it means that the reward here is instant. It's pleasurable. You are satisfied. In other words, this is also called instant gratification. If the reward and pleasure are immediate, as in the case of scrolling through your phone as well, it's not delayed pleasure or delayed reward. It's instant. Usually, the instant reward or pleasure, or in other words, instant gratification, is the opposite of delayed pleasure or delayed gratification, because delayed pleasure or reward is linked with hard work, the kind of feeling that you feel when you accomplish a hard task, which is very different from an instant reward. For example, if you are working hard, it involves effort and it requires consistency. The same doesn't apply to watching reels. Going to the gym requires discipline, whereas watching reels is like you are seduced by it. Too much consumption of it makes you reckless and devoid of motivation, because every day we have limited energy levels, and those levels are linked to dopamine release. You don't want too much dopamine release without hard work, because if you do, it's not good. And with this, it's imperative that we need to talk about the third point, which is dopamine loops and addictive patterns. The thing about instant reward or pleasure is that, as I said, about to say it, that it can become addictive, and when it becomes addictive, it becomes a loop. Have you ever heard that saying that you're stuck, or that you are stuck in the same cycle and you can't find a way out? Here it might feel like you are on a hamster wheel. Life is rushing past you while you're not fully living up to your potential. If that is the case, you need to pay attention to your habits. How many times a day you are going, are you getting distracted? By getting distracted, I mean how many times are you looking at your phone while you're not supposed to? How many hours does it waste? Are you eating healthy, or most of the time it's just the unhealthy food that gives you that enjoyment and satisfaction? If you're paying attention to all this so that you can correct the unconscious part of yourself, which is this pattern, it also means that you're consciously using your awareness. And I want you to encourage you to do that, because if you're conscious and if you're consciously paying attention to all these patterns, it can become deliberate, which allows you to pay attention to what things you can stop to improve your life. For example, using your awareness in the form of introspection, you're realizing that you don't stop after watching just a reel. You often watch many, and it makes you feel good. This is a dopamine loop that you can improve upon. Binging on web series, that's another loop. Hanging out with toxic friends, while deep inside you feel that you shouldn't be doing that, and that is another dopamine loop. If you look closely at your daily life, you will see that these subtle addiction patterns, which are not subtle, you have to pay attention to them. It's not just that you're used to it. It's a part of your daily life, and hence it will look subtle. So be careful of that. And it's not, whatever I've said here, these are not easy things, and these might look simple at first, but when you try to implement these strategies, you will know that feeling of irritation at first. But with this, let's talk about the final point, which is the fourth point. strategies for digital detox and mindful usage. Removing instant reward or pleasure opens up the vision to a much broader perspective on life. Effortless and meaningless dopamine leads to depletion. It shatters your awareness to pay attention to one thing, affecting your ability to do hard work. I'm looking at my notes actually. Thinking this thoroughly, we must admit that a digital addiction steals a tremendous amount of otherwise enjoyable and never ending moments. At the beginning of this video, I told you about what quality of life means to me and how I am able to do only 40% of the things. To reach that level also, I have failed a lot. And here are some steps that helped me to digital detox and allowed me to have some meaningful usage of our current technology that is advancing at such a rapid rate that it's almost impossible to catch up. But hey, it's often worth a try. So here, these are the strategies, and I'll link the studies below. So first is scheduled disconnection for better focus. Studies show that constant distraction mess with your ability to focus. A study from UC Irvine found that even checking your phone can take up to 23 minutes to regain focus. So what to do here? Set specific times each day to disconnect. No phone for an hour in the morning or evening. And this might be impossible for some people or majority of the people, but if you do this, your brain has the ability to recharge and boost your focus. So I would recommend that you do this. Second is mindfulness meditation to control dopamine. Research from Harvard shows that mindfulness meditation can help your brain deal with dopamine overload that we get from scrolling. It improves your attention and emotional balance. So I'm not saying that just go ahead and sit and close your eyes and do meditation. First, try to be by yourself with your thoughts and try to pay attention to what is happening within you. And this might feel boring at first, but start from there and focus your awareness to the thoughts that comes when you are with yourself without anything, and in your room perhaps, or with nature. So do that for like 2 or 3 minutes for a day, maybe 5 minutes, then increase that time span to maybe 10 minutes, and I assure you that this will definitely help you. So the third thing that you can do is a 2-minute rule to break the cycle. So studies from UCLA show that small actions are key to breaking bad habits. Instead of diving straight into your phone, commit to just 2 minutes of something else like reading or walking. So this 2-minute rule might sound vague, but it can help you to break the dopamine loop. If you feel the urge to scroll or to just have your mobile by yourself, do something for 2 minutes, like do something else for 2 minutes. So if you keep this 2 minutes habit constant, it allows you to build new habits, and new habits can transform. New habits allow you to build new structures. I think that if you have to understand this, there's a book called The Power of Habit, and it lays everything out so simply and so crisp and so so wonderful that it will help you a lot. I just babbled. So anyway, the best thing you can do here is that implement the 2-minute rule. So with this, let's go to the fourth strategy, which is exercise to boost your brain power. The NIH confirms that exercise boosts your brain's ability to focus and retain information. It produces a chemical known as BDNF that helps improve memory and learning. Exercise also produces a lot of chemicals, but this BDNF, it helps with memory and learning. So if you're not into exercise, I would recommend that start with walking or a workout, or just start with walking, then a little bit stretching, then perhaps jogging, and then doing some calisthenics, maybe pull-ups, push-ups, maybe sit-ups, so that you are aligned with your movements, and then gradually going to the gym. So to in this way you are also building your lactic acid. You're more prone to lactic acid. You're not just go to the gym, fuck. So I'll end the video here.